Well, hello. This is Saturday morning, the first Saturday of the new year. Was it January 2nd? This is 20 at 10 with Nat. I'm your host, Natalie, and my special guest tonight is Miss Mirka Novak. Mirka is a multi-instrumentalist, wonderful singer, vibrant person and personality that I met back in 2014. I said it wrong the other day when I was advertising the show, but we met in 2014. I believe it was March 2014. She came to Austin not for South by, but it happened to be during South by. And I believe she fell in love with the city and fell in love with the music, and she was going to crash on my couch for a few nights and left about 9 months later. So, or 6 months maybe. And it was a delight to meet her. It was an experience like no other. We played many songs together in our apartment. We played shows together around town. She played lots of shows at Elephant Room and the Skylark and other beautiful venues in Austin, some of which aren't around anymore. And I'll let the two of us talk more about how we met because it's kind of a funny story. But she is also a vocal instructor, and she plays in multiple bands. And I believe one of the projects that she's working on, she's going to play a song from at the end of our show today. And she's organized festivals, and she teaches, and she's just a woman of many musical talents, and also hilarious and very fun to talk to. So please put your hands together, even though I can't hear them, for my good friend Mirka Novak. Hi, Mirka.
Hello, everybody. Ciao, Natalie. Natalka, my friend.
How are you doing?
Ciao. I'm really excited that we go live and that we see each other and we can connect like this through Facebook.
I know.
Facebook is an amazing thing.
Okay, make sure
really
if you have Facebook up, make sure that Facebook is muted so you don't hear too.
Facebook is muted.
Ears. Okay.
So I hope. Yes, hopefully.
My Facebook is not muted, so now I hear us twice. Fun. And so this is the world of technology, folks.
Yeah.
When we're trying to make sure everybody knows that we're going live. So while I'm introducing her, she's going over and sharing our video on.
Because I've never done it before, I don't know.
But it's a little bit complicated because you can't share it until we're live, and there's like a 20-second delay, and it's been really fun to figure this out. So this morning we were going to be on Instagram originally, so that's how I advertised it. And then we decided the last minute. No, we decided to go live here. The audio is definitely better here. So we're also live on Twitch and YouTube. Hey, everybody. If you're tuning in, please go ahead and... Oh, I already see Joanna's here and Rush. Go ahead and say hi and where you're tuning in from, and we'll probably... Look, I can even...
Oh my gosh, you're super handy. I don't know how to check how many friends of mine are watching. I'm like, I'm really glad that I'm in this stage of,
Rush is saying hi, Mirka.
Rush, perfect. Ciao.
Joanna asks where you're joining us from. So where are you from right now? Like, where are you currently?
This is, I'm in an amazing city of my heart. I'm in Prague, in the Czech Republic.
Prague.
Right now we have night, 5 p.m.
There you go.
Okay,
evening. I have never been to Prague, and it is on my list of places that I want to go. So
please come.
When it's safe to do so, I would like to come visit you. Is that okay?
I'll be the best guide for you.
Amazing. You will show me all the coffee, all the pilsners.
All the fairy tales behind every building.
Yes.
We have the magic clock here. Astrological clock. Oh, yeah.
So, I was going to... Let's reminisce for a moment. Do you remember landing in Austin? And do you remember what happened when you landed? You called me, and you were on a bus with
another guys, right?
Like a band.
Oh my God.
So I lived in these apartments in central Austin, and a mutual
Oh my
friend
God.
of Mirka and I had reached out and said, "Hey, do any of you ladies have an extra bed or couch that a friend of mine can crash on for a couple of nights?" And I lived in a two-bedroom apartment with there were four of us girls total, and but they were all going to be out of town for spring break, and I was like, actually, I have like three extra beds. And so she came, and well, the plan was for her to come and stay with me for a couple of nights. And so I had never talked to her. I just talked to our mutual friend, and so I get this phone call on the day that she's supposed to land, because I'm still like, is she coming? I don't know. And then she calls, and I just hear Mirka's voice, and okay, and details, and I'm giving her my address, and she, I thought she's in a taxi, but it
Oh my
wasn't
God.
a taxi, and then she, this big, it looks like a shuttle bus.
Yeah.
It's a shorter, kind of smaller bus, but it's
You
like
guys.
completely spray painted, like black or gray, and all of the windows are grayed
Oh,
out.
yeah.
And I'm like, what is this? And then like the double door like slides open, and then like Mirka comes down, and with her big glasses and her big eyes.
With like,
Do you
with
remember this?
fear
And
from my
I
back.
could, I know, like she looked like
Oh my
scared a little, and I was just like, I'm
gosh.
Natalie, and she's like, hi, and we just like,
I hugged you,
we
like I
just hug.
squeezed everything from you.
Yeah,
Like,
and I was like, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna
mm,
stay with me,
God,
because
that
I
was
saw
so
the
hard.
other guys, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
she's with me.
five guys, like sleeping in the car and doing, just waiting for me. They were waiting for me for 5 hours before my, plane landed, and then I decided to go with you because I saw them and I got afraid. It was just you never know who you meet, and you meet just the
Yeah,
little
it did look a little bit sketchy when she came out of
hippies.
that bus. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God,
oh,
I'm a
okay.
hippie too, but these were too hippie.
Yeah.
So,
So then the
oh
plan
my.
was for Mirka to crash on, I guess I think you stayed in my room, right? Or did you stay in the other room?
I was staying in the couch in the middle room.
Well, you stayed on the couch for months, but
Oh, it's Sophia's
the
bed. So with
first,
your
okay, in my
in your
room.
room.
So
Hmm.
me and my roommate had bunk beds because we're, adults, and this is awesome. And so we're saving on rent. So um, that is the cheapest way to go in Austin, is share a room.
True.
And it was really fun. And then Sylvia
Or
came back
crashing
in town.
somebody's couch, actually,
Yeah, so
like I did.
then when all my roommates came back in town, me and Mirka had a lot of fun. And we were like, so Mirka was like, I kind of like Austin. Can I hang around for a little bit? And we had like a roommate discussion about it. And we're like, okay. And something happened eventually. I think eventually you chipped in for rent too, I think, because we're like, all right, this is kind
Uh-huh.
of becoming a permanent thing.
True. I actually
And
moved out the time you guys were all moving out.
yeah, she stayed with us till the end of our lease, which is like the end of July or August. And that was
True.
crazy.
True.
That was
Oh
really
my
crazy.
gosh. It was really, really great. Oh man, I
uh,
remember those times and I loved it. That was
yeah,
like really like I was pampered
yeah.
by you guys, like
I think
spoiled.
what
It
happened,
was
I
just
think I was leaving, I think I went on a trip to India right after we moved out.
uh-huh,
Anyways,
yeah, yeah.
very, very fun times.
Oh my God.
Uh, I, yeah, Mirka immediately got immersed in Austin life and was
Mm.
out. She basically was doing what I was supposed to be doing
That's true.
as a musician, but I was still too shy and scared to do it.
Yeah.
So,
I came to
um,
Austin like, hey, I am here and I'm a singer
everybody,
and I'll
I'm
do.
singing. I got a show. I'm getting shows, and I'm just playing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do that yet. So, but we
So I
played
was
for
actually,
each other. Do you remember that first
yeah.
night you got here? I think I had a friend or two come over, and we like sat in a circle and like
Uh
played
huh. Uh huh.
songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was
It's
like kind
actually.
of intimidated by Mirka because she's like, well,
Oh,
she's like
really?
6 foot tall. She's kind
Uh
of an
huh.
intimidating presence, like just like a burst of life right in front of you, and you're like,
Tall girl, low
Mirka, I will
voice.
never forget you. Your big glasses, big eyes. Like, where am
Yeah.
I? And then 6 foot tall, and I'm like, all right, come here. We're good.
let's do some gigs and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, we were going to jam sessions, and this is like so funny because this is not only you talking about it. Because when I came to Austin, and I thought that I'll walk around every music club, and you guys, you and also Anjali and other my friends, they wanted to they wanted to do music, but they didn't know where to start from, and I was just doing it. Like, I go 1 hour biking to the downtown.
Oh, yeah, she was on a bike because she
like,
wasn't driving. She didn't have obviously didn't have a car here, and so. And there was. Do you remember that time the brakes didn't work on your bike? Or was that my bike? I think it was she used my bike and my brakes didn't work, and I didn't know that because I didn't use it.
Really? Okay.
And she was like,
I knew
my
that
God.
something like this was, but I don't know if I was breaking my legs or something.
Oh, so many memories. And
So
she
fun.
played. So some of my first. So I recently wrote a song called "I Couldn't See," and in one of the verses I wrote, "Mondays at the Red Eye Fly, playing to an empty bar." And Mirka was with me in Red Eye Fly playing to an empty bar. Or, there are a few people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Eden from
Yeah,
New Zealand?
from Australia. Oh, New Zealand.
I think. She was my guest a few months ago on that show.
Amazing.
I
I
know.
follow her.
And
Her
I was
songs.
like,
I
do you
love her
remember
songs.
Mirka? She's really great. Yeah.
Oh man.
So we all
Yeah, I
played
love
at
her.
the Red Eye Fly. And
At the rooftop too, with Eden.
oh yeah, we talked
Oh.
about that. We were like,
Mhm,
it was such a
mhm,
magical moment.
I love that rooftop, by the way. Every time
I did
I
I
was
wish
by
I could go
myself.
back.
Yes, I was climbing up and I saw the city and I was like, oh man, look at this beautiful city. I will perform at those jazz clubs. I will do it. I will just do it.
So my
And that
apartment
was
at the
my
time had like a parking garage, and it was like there was like a courtyard, but the parking garage was sort of like part of the courtyard. And at the very top of the parking garage, you could park on top too. And it was the tallest thing around in Central Austin, so you could just see all the way to downtown. And it was beautiful, and I loved watching sunsets from there. You could just take the elevator all the way up to the top. And there were many a night or evening or sunset that I sat out there, and I miss that for sure. Because it's here, like I can see the sunset at my house, but it's not elevated, So
magical. It was magical.
you can kind of see fireworks from there. They're pretty far away, but
It
it's a
was
beautiful
magical.
view.
I loved it.
There's so many more buildings here now, Mirka.
Triangle. Always remember triangle.
Layla, hi Layla.
How can I
Layla's
check people? If I could share it. I'm
Can you
really
see,
curious if I can do it.
I think only I have the control to like make it display, but you
Okay.
can see them over here on your
So
screen
did I
on the
share
comments.
it?
So I'll
I
share it
shared it.
now though. So
I hope that I shared
Mirka,
it.
I'm gonna share Mirka's website just so y'all have it.
I hope that I shared it and then that people, friends on my... I hope I did. I did it good. Okay, good.
Okay.
Wonderful. 3 people liked it already. Oh my
Awesome.
God. Amazing. You are the setter, the virtual setter girl.
Setter? Like trendsetter?
Like oh, right.
We're gonna have fun.
We would,
I mean,
we
already
would
are.
dive into
I miss
different
you.
words.
I wish we were hanging out in person right now.
Well, yeah, I supposed to be in the United States this time because my sister she lives in Waco. You remember when I moved out from Austin, she moved to Waco. That was funny. We kind of exchanged, and I supposed to be with her and her husband and 2 kids in Waco, and I wanted to see y'all in Austin, but things happen.
Viruses, pandemics.
So,
things
well,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Maybe,
Well,
must have to be here for some reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a few questions about. I mean, it's fun to catch up, but I know people want to know about you musically as well.
Hopefully.
I already said you were a wonderful singer. That's one of the things I noticed about you, and even as she was rehearsing in our apartment, just hearing the way she sings vocally, a lot of scatting, right? How would like vocal and jazz influence, and it was a music that, I mean, I was pretty small in my music experience and what I had been exposed to, and our influencers are completely different, and I loved it, and it's very colorful, and if you see her perform, she's like moving and engaging and like on stage in a way that, I'm on a guitar, so I'm not. But it's really fun to watch. So I hope that you all get a chance. Actually, I mean, you can all Google her on YouTube and see plenty of examples, but I hope you all get to see her perform in person someday. It's very fun and entertaining, and
Cool.
it was very fun to watch here in Austin.
Love it.
Um, Tell me,
Different influences. That's
like,
true.
I know that you played keys. When you played music with me, you're playing like on a djembe and like percussion and like
Rhythmical things.
I know
Love
you
it.
play, you're a multi-instrumentalist in that way. Like, what all do you play? What was the first thing that you started learning? And like, how old were you when you started like playing on instruments?
So like, well, first of all, I wouldn't call myself multi-instrumentalist at all, because every instrument I kind of accompany myself. The very basic stuff I can do, like
That's
I do
like,
jazz vocally, true, but I'm not able to play it on keys. I know the chords, what's the 7, how to play 13th, but diminished and stuff. But like fluently accompanying myself in jazz music, I'm not able to. So like, of course, I'm writing songs on keys. So that's my primary instrument. How I create music, and also my little machine, my little toy, which I'll hopefully be performing today for you.
oh, you will.
Yeah, because that's my new project, and that's just like everything what I've dreamed of, because it's only the voice, only the
Yeah.
power of your voice. And as you mentioned, the rhythmical percussionist thing. So I hope, I think that probably that my father is is a drummer, so I inherited the drum, like
The
rhythmical
rhythm.
rhythm
I mean,
love.
there are
Yes,
videos of you freaking
I
playing a djembe on
love
a
rhythm.
street in New Orleans. Like, it's not like you don't have rhythm. Like, you
It's
wouldn't be
true.
playing on these percussive instruments if you didn't have rhythm. Like, people would not give it to you. They would not give you an instrument. They'd be like, no, you just sing.
Right, right.
You just sing on this one.
Rhythm is amazing. It's like so basic thing. People feel, the beat, the heartbeat and everything. So I'm actually learning to do beatbox a little.
Cool.
So because I would like to
Joanna,
imitate
that's funny.
all the instruments on the this machine. So this is what I actually love the most, because voice gives me the most freedom, which I found now. And I'm actually doing this like loop station album, and this is like it's taking so long. It's taking forever.
This is Melbourne, right?
Malbum, yes.
So is this a band, or is this an album called Malbum that you're working on?
It is the album. The album is called Malbum because Malba
Okay.
is in Czech. Malba is painting, and I believe that what I create on this machine is mostly paintings. I just play with the colors of the sound. So the intervals and all the colors. I just love it. The emotions and everything. So you can imagine everything in your mind based on these sounds. So it's hard to explain, but that's why I decided to go with Malbum, because it's 2 words, Malba and album together, painting and album together.
I love
And
it.
no words,
So
actually
it's not
no
a
words.
band called Malbum.
No,
It is
no,
a
no, no,
project.
no, no. It's the
called
project.
Malbum.
It will be the album called Malbum, and it's only solo loop station album with
Okay.
some of guests,
It's
who
kind of like
influenced me and stuff.
it's reminding me a little bit of why am I blanking? What is her name? Imogen Heap.
Uh-huh.
Imogen Heap.
Mm-mm.
From Frou Frou. From Frou Frou.
Uh-huh.
Like
Yeah.
she does a lot of just incredible.
Sweet.
Like, super
Yeah.
excited.
It's wonderful.
Tell me
It's
about
the meditation.
where did I?
Love it. And it's gonna be probably a circle songs. It has some progressions. I stick some different pieces together, because when you work with loop, it's harder to do a B part. So you kind of keep the loop for some quite a time. Yeah.
How long? Like, when did you know that you wanted to be a singer? That you
Well,
wanted to be a musician?
since I opened my mouth, I think.
Like, in your mind, you were like, I am gonna have a microphone and I'm gonna be on a stage.
Well,
When
I
did
never.
you visualize that? When you were like, I want to do this. I'm
Like,
going to do this.
I never thought about that it would not happen to me. I
You just
always
knew. You just
knew
knew.
that, yeah, that I just need to express myself through the
Music.
dancing, through music, yes, because I love dancing. So
I
like
did
at
too.
the
Dance when I
very
was.
beginning, I was
Yeah.
just like dancing and
Mine was
singing
ballet.
the stories. Yes, were you? Oh my God, very cool. I would love to learn it, but for me, it's maybe too structuralized. But
Yeah, you
it's
you
good
do more
not to be
jazz
too
or
wild.
interpretive,
Yeah, right, right.
which I
So I
actually do
think
more
from the
jazz and
beginning.
interpretive now. I don't really do ballet
Mm-hmm.
anymore, but
Uh-huh,
do you?
uh-huh.
Well, I
Cool,
just mean
cool.
like, what did your parents think? What did they say?
They are proud of me because my dad, as I said, he's a drummer and a singer and he loves music. And actually, my parents, they met on the show where my father was drumming and singing. And my mom said, like, hey,
Mm.
girls, who is the singer? I cannot see the singer. And the girls were like, oh, the drummer. Oh, no, the drummer also sings. And she will just fall in love with him. And then
Oh
she
my
decided,
gosh.
because there were no phones at that time, so she decided to find him. So she asked where the band is from, and she thought, she heard that they're from Sushice, which this is the place where I was born. And she just traveled there, went to a club, found a person who looked similar to my father, and she asked him if he doesn't have
A girlfriend? Oh,
brother. And he said, yes, I do have a brother drummer, yes, but I play accordion. Like, don't want to become my girl? Don't you want to be my girl? You know? And
wow.
then they met, and my mom, she is a dancer and she's an actor. She doesn't do it as a professional, but in her free time. And her mom, she was a singer, she loved
I didn't
singing.
know any of
So
this about
like,
your family.
never really,
We did
we
not
never.
talk about this. How did we
How
not? We lived
possible?
together for 6 months
Unbelievable. We talk
and
about
never talked about
million
it.
things.
We talk about a
Million.
lot of things.
Oh my God, I love
Okay,
it. I
so
loved it.
your family is very familiar with the arts. Also, thank you,
Yes.
Sean. Sean said my mic was a bit low, so we've adjusted. Um,
You are
so
low or low?
my mic was low.
You're my.
Um, so that's really cool. I
Yeah,
love that
it's
your
really
mom was a
cool.
dancer. I love that she fell in love and just with the.
Yeah, unbelievable. And they're like,
And I love that she found his brother. Was like, so do you have a
right,
brother? Can I
you
meet
have
your
a brother?
brother? Does he have a
Yeah,
girlfriend?
right. And don't you want to be
So
my
cool.
girlfriend?
So
I don't
because
want you. I want
my
your
family is like
brother.
the complete opposite. Like my mom
Hmm.
is an education major. My dad, uh, there's creative things throughout my family, but my dad settled on more like an accounting finance type career. And so very
Hmm.
regimented and steady and stable, and also like wanted to settle and have a big family. And so they encouraged
Yeah.
all of us to also do steady and stable things, which,
Uh huh.
works in a
True.
pandemic, but um, doesn't
Well,
like,
I met your parents and your
doesn't,
family. You remember Thanksgiving Day? Came with you all guys.
I
It was
forgot.
beautiful. Your family
I
is like
totally
so
forgot.
big. I loved it.
That's true. They're even bigger. I have brothers and sisters that are
Unbelievable.
married and have kids now. So
This
it's
is
like the
amazing.
family keeps growing.
Yes,
Um,
wonderful,
yeah,
wonderful.
so many good memories.
Yeah.
Um,
But
so
as you say
like,
about
did
the
you go,
education,
what?
like, keep going. Sorry.
Well, what? So I guess I was asking because I wanted to know, like, there was no convincing your parents that you were going to do this thing. They were just like, cool. Yeah, you're going to
Well, they
sing.
said no, no, no. They said it's not possible. They said
Right.
you are a fool. You're crazy. It's just you have to have a normal thing. You need to go to the
Okay.
school. So I studied. I finished my master's,
What did you
like
study in school?
pedagogical school, and so I'm supposed to be a teacher, right? But I chose music and psychology,
Okay,
approbation.
cool.
So yeah, I finished my master's, but then I decided to go to New Orleans. Like,
Nice.
so
But
later.
and in New Orleans, how long were you there? Like
3
3 weeks?
months, 3
Three
months,
months.
3
And
months.
so
With
you
my
were,
friend, guitarist.
right, you were busking on the street.
Mm-hmm,
You were,
mm-hmm. She
there
was
are
playing
videos of
guitar,
her,
singing,
yeah,
and I was
there's
playing
videos
cajon,
of
singing.
Mirka busking on, or drumming on the street with her friend.
Crazy
What's her name
girls.
again?
That is a
Ch-
race. Electric Lady,
Teresa.
yeah. Teresa,
Electric Lady.
Electric
Okay, I was
Lady.
like electric
Hmm.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty. I watched that and I was like, wow, I do not have the guts to do that.
Oh
at
man,
the
it
time.
was
I was
like
like,
it
whoa.
was the most dangerous decision we ever made, we ever did,
Yeah.
and also the most beautiful. You know how the extremes follows? Like it's like it was the best, like a season in my life, or it was the best etap time in my life. Like at that time, Then and
Yeah.
then another things, wonderful things came in. Like
Oh yeah.
decided to go to Austin. It was just like a random pick on the map. Like okay, let's go to Austin.
Did you come to Austin straight from New Orleans?
And
Is that
no,
you flew in from? So how did you flew
back
in from Czech?
home.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And then from
Um.
yeah,
Well, I wanted to
true.
ask. Let's see here. I want to ask another thing. Oh, I like to ask all of my guests this question. When is the earliest memory you have? How the youngest that you were, that you remember hearing a song for the first time and just like, I love that. What is that? I want more of that song. Like it made you feel alive just hearing that music. Do you
I
remember an early
think
memory of
yeah,
that?
yeah. I think it was around like well, this is really hard because like really deep
You probably have
like
many of
dig
them.
back. But I remember only the fairy tales, the series we were
Mhm.
watching as a kids when we were
Mhm.
3 or 4 or something. Because I don't know if my memory goes even more back.
Oh, that's fine.
I
That's
don't know.
perfect.
But I remember those like the how you guys call it the sounds when the series starts. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
repeat it every
Mhm.
time.
Na,
So I remember those. Yeah.
na, na,
And I was
na,
dancing.
na, na. Go ahead. So that was
What was
the
it?
music that made you feel alive. You're like, oh my gosh, it's
I
starting.
think so. Oh
Yeah.
my God!
Okay.
If my friends from Czech Republic they hear it, so many of my generations they will remember what I'm actually singing. This is
So that
hilarious.
was the
A lot of
so
fairy tales.
that's really beautiful. I love that. Yeah. What so you are involved in all parts of the music process. You're involved in education. You're involved in music composition. You're involved in recording and producing music, and you're involved in performing music. Like you are in
Hmm.
front of audiences
True.
presenting the music. So, what part of the entire process for you brings you the most joy?
Hmm.
Like
Oh.
if a lot of the different parts fell away, you could only keep one part of that process. Which one would you want to keep?
Hmm. Hmm. The successful finish of each step, I would say, because every time I feel the overwhelming joy is every time when I finish something, not the finish the whole product, like the write a song and record it, the finished
Right.
recording, but every time I like when I write a song and when I just catch the right progression and it gives me the goosey bump every time, like something is well made or
Mm-hmm.
happened in a just there. It's just there. So every time I think that this is the what how you call it, magic moment, or what's
Yeah.
the thing what I
Yeah,
would
like
keep.
that rush, that feeling of like,
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
amazing. Let's
uh-huh.
keep going.
That yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually every time when even if you go to the studio and you record it well, but sometimes the working at the studio is really frustrating. And you
Yeah.
go home and you never know because you were tired and you were like, was it good? Oh my God, I think it wasn't good. And then you listen it again and then you
Yeah.
oh it's actually fun, it's okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing? So recording session for me is the most frustrating thing, but at the end it is beautiful, when I see the final, when I hear the final, it's fun, it's okay, it's
Yeah.
fine.
So it's not just performing on stage or writing the
Mm-mm,
song or recording in
mm-mm,
the studio. It's like
mm-mm,
completing part of the project
mm-hmm,
or the whole
mm-hmm,
project,
mm-hmm,
completing the set or completing the song or saying what you
mm-hmm,
wanted to say and it working.
mm-hmm.
Like knowing that you hit it.
You hit it, yes.
Okay. That's cool cuz that's in every part of the process. You can hit it
Mm-hmm.
in every part.
And when
What
you hit
about
it, you know that you hit it,
yeah,
it's there.
that is a good feeling. What about
Yeah.
education? When you're teaching other people, what part of that process brings you
Oh
joy?
wow, Yeah, I really do love when when like, you mean like when I pass something on people, yeah?
When you're
Like,
vocal instructing or teaching
mhm.
how whatever you're teaching.
If I put them into a feeling that they really are in that moment, that they are able to do it, they are able to um, just sing it or feel it, like able to do it. So if I change the wheels in their mind, like
Mm-hmm.
in their psyche, and they're like it dawns
Light
on
bulb
them,
moment.
like the bulb moment.
Ding.
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh, yeah, yeah, right. So and they're like, oh wow,
Oh.
oh, and this was the puzzle. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like this is great. This is great. Because I mean, if you do a little segment that they are able to sing something, they remember that they were able to sing it. But if you change the psyche, that's even more elementary.
Yeah. Do you see Vlas?
That's really cool. Oh, basta, yes. Ciao. It's wonderful. He's the shiniest guy I was teaching. He's a really shiny person. Ukulelist, by the way. Very cool. Like big
Ooh.
boy with the little ukulele. I love
Nice.
it.
Awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. So you lived here in the U.S. for at least a year, if not
Oh,
year and a
two.
half to two. And you lived with Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So what is like the weirdest thing that Americans do? That it wasn't just me and my roommates, but you're like, these people do the same thing. Is there anything like that you're like, I feel like
Funny.
air conditioning might be one of those things, but like,
Well,
what?
yeah, that's true. Oh my God. Close the door, please. Close the balcony. Like,
Close the
why?
window.
Fresh air,
Because
damn
it's
it.
100 degrees outside.
Well, yes, that's true. That's true. But I mean,
In the
if you
spring, it's
choose to
nice.
live in this in Austin, like you also need to like respect the weather. No, don't you think?
Yeah, people can
Well,
die from exposure.
true, but I remember when I was living, the place I was living after you.
Hmm.
I was living in the house,
Oh,
and
you
we
didn't
had
have air
no air
conditioning or heat.
conditioner. Yeah, we had
They
only
had no
fans. It was
central.
crazy, yes,
They were on
but
East
like we were
12th, and it was
accommodated.
like one of the last. I bet that house isn't there anymore. It was one of the last little
Oh,
houses built in like early 1900s, I think. No central heating or AC, and like I think rodents. It was a cute house, like wooden raised, like it was very cute, but also
yeah, and we painted all the walls and did a little vitrage
right in the middle of everything on East
mosaics
12th. Just a
from
few
the
blocks
glass.
in. It was awesome.
Yeah, and you helped me to write the lyrics on Best Friend song, by the way.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. I mean,
And I will.
I remember
It's
the
not out
feeling of
yet.
it, but that was a good one.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool. So,
Yeah.
well, so this is weird that you guys like refusing the weather.
Okay.
Second is that you guys shutting the windows, like the
It's the
shades.
same as the blinds. Like
Uh-huh.
like my curtains.
Mm-hmm.
Close it.
Like it's like
So
a
what do you do in
dark.
what do you do in Czech Republic?
Man, we have 4 seasons. You guys probably because you guys have just
We only
like
have
two.
2 seasons.
2 seasons.
But I'm
So we are
very hot
we are
and not very cold, but very hot.
we are really grateful for the sun. So like let the sun come in. So like
Petra
open the
is
door and
here.
everything. Yeah, Petra, my sister maybe? No, Petra Ernejová, the singer. She's a jazz singer. Yes.
And also
true. Christoph, yes.
Christoph
Oh my God, Sleepy
from
Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow.
He's in the United States, I guess. Oh my goodness, ciao people.
So,
Unbelievable.
what do you do with the shades? So you're not talking about the glass. You're talking about the blinds or the shades in the.
Well, yeah, when you
What do
do
you do?
the dark, we just open it. Like
Even when it's dark outside?
Yes.
I guess
mean,
it's because
I can show you.
well,
Maybe
people.
this is me. I don't know.
Well, that is an interesting. I think it's a cultural thing, but
If you live in
we
the
close
first
it.
floor,
Yeah.
that's
Well, I usually
understandable.
do. I always grew up on the first floor, so it's like there's people outside and they can see inside. Close your
True,
window.
true. But I mean,
And
what
they're
are you doing there? I mean, just living.
changing clothes to go to bed.
Well, if you're
of
changing
course.
clothes, okay. But if you're drinking tea,
No, but like it's bedrooms for sure. Like always close your
okay,
door.
okay.
And
Makes sense.
well, and also I don't know, but for me, I'm a very much a window person. I do not like windows to be open at night
Uh-huh.
because, but I
Okay.
just had a couple like weird things happen when I was a kid. So like,
Uh-huh.
I'm just scared of like the glass at night because you can't
Uh-huh.
see out. I don't like not being able to see out. I'm like, well, I don't want anyone
Okay.
to see in.
Like the sea in the night. You don't
Yeah.
go swim when it's night because you
Yes.
don't see
Just creepy. My
inside.
grandparents, I would stay at my grandparents' house when I was a kid, and they lived on like half an acre. I don't know. It was not huge property, but it was land. It was more land than like I've ever had. And they did not have any kind of fence, so anyone could just cut through their yard and walk
Uh-huh.
through. So it wasn't like it felt like, and then the entire back of
Cool.
their house was
Mm.
glass.
Uh-huh.
They like, so it was like a sunroom for plants because they loved plants.
Mm.
And so like you'd walk the entire length of the house and it's all glass. You can't see outside because it's dark, but you know
Mm-hmm.
people can see inside. It's just
Mm-hmm.
creepy.
True, true. Yeah, it
And
is
there was a
kind of like.
time where I was playing cards with my grandma
Uh-huh.
in a table by the glass, and there was a huge thud on the glass
What is
at night.
thud? Like the bird?
Boom, boom, like
Oh,
just
oh,
like
the
a. And I
this.
don't, I
Mhm.
cannot fly, but I flew. Like I was frightened and was like, I flew and went
Okay.
and hid behind the television,
Uh-huh.
and I just, I'm crouching down. And my grandma just kind of like
Oh.
stands up and like goes over to the window, and I'm like, "What are
Yeah.
you doing?"
Uh-huh.
And it was like a cat fight in the trees, and they fell on the roof, and
Uh-huh.
like
Uh-huh.
it was very
Uh-huh.
scary sounding, but I think it
Uh-huh.
scarred me for
Uh-huh.
life.
Uh-huh.
Anyways,
Well, yeah,
so
probably.
things
And
like
also,
that
you guys don't
happen.
have the. You know what? You guys don't have
What,
the. Oh, Ježišmarja, what's it called?
bike lane?
Uh, no, that you don't walk much. That you drive everywhere.
Everything's so
So you
far
guys don't
apart.
have the. Well, true. Yeah.
Crosswalks, or not crosswalks, but
Uh,
sidewalks.
sidewalks.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
true. And Austin's
Mm-hmm. Curbings.
strange.
Stuff.
Austin is very. There are suburbs. There are different cities that have more that are more walkable, but Austin's,
Mm-hmm.
unless you're downtown. If you're downtown, it's pretty walkable. But like if you're
Mm-hmm.
outside of that small area, then
Yeah.
you got to drive, and it's
Yeah,
very
it really
unfortunate.
depends on the city. That's
Yeah.
really true. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, have you had any embarrassing moments on stage? I feel like Mirka is so like rolls with the flow, like goes with the flow, rolls with the punches. Let me get my
True.
metaphors right. That I can't imagine you ever being embarrassed. But have you ever had an
You
embarrassing
know me
performance
so well.
moment?
You know me so well, girl.
I'm the
'Cause
one that gets embarrassed.
hey, really cool, really cool. Because when I saw this question first time, I was like really thinking, what was embarrassing? Because I take everything what comes, everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like so normal, and the art is to make it light and make fun of it. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
don't point it out if it's too embarrassing, that you forget the lyrics or something.
Right.
But that it is life, and like why should we feel embarrassed? I was thinking, and
Right.
what I did embarrassing. I remember, well, actually, it was not me, but it was my friend. She was singing,
Oh.
and
Wait, so you weren't embarrassed?
well, I was embarrassed for her because if you would hear what I'm telling, I'm
Is
about
that
to tell
from
you.
me? Are you about to tell
Oh,
my
it wasn't
story?
you. It wasn't you. It wasn't you. It was hilarious. My friend, she was singing and she wasn't used to sing. So
Right.
she had the gig. So I said, "Hey, come on the stage and sing this duet with me." And she was singing and then she burped. Man.
Cool.
And
How
I mean,
is
for the people. What? Go ahead. What?
is that culturally? Where were you? Were you in Czech or were you?
It's Czech Republic, yeah.
Is that very bad?
Well, I
Etiquette
mean,
wise?
yes, it is. It
Okay.
is. I mean, nobody wants to. It is bad. I mean,
Obvious. Nobody
nobody wants
to.
to
But I
burp
feel
in
like
a
it's not.
microphone. This is like a
So
really
what
embarrassing.
happened?
So, I mean, it was heard like half and half. Like half people didn't hear it, half heard it, maybe third. And then some people, and she was like, and some people, what? And then she apologized. And the fact that she apologized, she pointed the finger what she actually did, and people were asking what happened. And then she burped, and then it was even more Embarrassing. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
It's really hard. I mean, don't drink while you're performing. At least if you can manage your organs, which I can kind of do.
Have you had performances where you're like, it's coming?
Yeah, it's coming, but you just need to hold it. You need to hold it and sing the phrase and then lose it. It's really the skill. It is the skill.
So there was like,
oh my God.
last year was 2020. Oh my gosh. 2019. There was a season of performances where I'm like, I feel like every time I feel it coming, and I'm like, all right, I gotta sing this thing and like let it out, without.
Yeah, you need to
control.
Like,
why? Like, I couldn't figure out. It
wasn't because of drinking. It's because of the stage fright.
It wasn't a specific drink. It wasn't like because I was.
It's just water.
Water.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it I don't know. It was weirding me out. I'm like, I'm not eating. I'm not like, rushing before. I try and, take my time before a set, and it was. You never know.
Strange. Little bubble can just appear, and you just it's normal. It's really cool. But I was thinking, being embarrassed maybe when I'm talking, because when I talk, sometimes I talk like a friend, but not many people know me, and not that they don't know the way of I do humor, and what I'm how to say, like what I'm pointing to,
yes.
So my punchline, right. So sometimes I made jokes. That's what I did when I was 19, 22 or whatever. I was making jokes on my bandmates, so it was like something was like I should
in Czech or in English.
In Czech. Okay. Yes, in English it's better because less words, better for me. Because I'm like talking, and then, hey girl, you should stop talking and just sing. So moderating, like the you guys call
like
it also
talking
moderating?
In between songs.
Yeah, moderating.
What do we
Is it moderating?
MC.
Moderating.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah. So
Master
I need to say, okay, enough is enough. Less is better.
Short and sweet. Let's keep
short and sweet. Yes.
Yeah.
So
leave them wanting more.
Right. Leave them wanting more.
Yes.
True. So
all right.
This is my thing, probably.
Well, I think you do, but I only know you in English. I don't understand Czech, so.
Unfortunately, my jokes are really awesome sometimes. Well, I think
you heard it here first, folks. Her jokes are really awesome.
In English. You guys have different humor.
That's true.
Yeah. Sometimes you guys really think to stuff I don't know.
Bright light behind me. I think that's one of the most difficult things to achieve in another language, is being able to tell a joke.
Yes.
And just pointing out, you tell jokes in English and you're hilarious.
True. You need to really think broadly, and also jokes and humor is the thing what connects people. So like if you don't have the kind of, so I remember myself in a continental club. I was standing outside with people, with a crowd of people, and I was just not catching it. People were smiling, and I felt like, oh, okay. And then I got in peace, reconciled. Got in peace? Is it got in peace that I reconciled? With that, okay, I will just stand and just like enjoying myself, enjoying the night. Yeah. Made in peace with, yes. So
Joanna, I think the word we might have been looking for earlier was banter. The talk in between songs is called banter. Okay. Like a back and forth with the audience.
Never heard it. Okay.
Oh, new word for the day.
New word.
Okay.
You taught me so many words.
Are you ready for
Magic box?
The random questions? Yes.
Yes.
Have you ever had a secret lover? You can say, if it's weird, you can tell me to ask another one.
Secret lover?
Yeah, I guess one that nobody knows about, or like maybe you're going steady with someone and you have a secret lover. So it's like two people.
Study with someone?
Steady, like you're dating someone, but then you have someone else.
Oh my gosh! So I wanted to say yes, but when I'm dating someone, I'm not having a secret lover. But I did have a secret lover. I actually did have it, that no one knows about.
Or were you the secret lover? someone had you as a
Oh
secret
yes,
lover.
I was the secret lover. Oh my god, what is this, Natalie? Come on, you're like asking me like all those
That I
intimate
did not write these
questions. What is
questions.
my favorite color? Just switch it to my favorite color.
Have
My
you ever
favorite
made
food.
a, okay, let's go to a different one. Have
Oh,
you
you made it
ever,
up just now. You
no,
made it up.
oh, they're right here, all the words.
Well,
Have
should I
you
believe
ever
you?
made, yeah, do you want to see it?
Okay. Okay. Oh my
Secret
gosh.
lover.
You prepared the questions?
No, I draw them
Wow.
randomly. Have you ever made a costume for a pet?
Never, plee Oh
I
my
haven't,
god.
I haven't either. But there's some that are really hilarious, like making a taco for a dog.
Oh my god.
Oh, have you
Crazy.
ever been in an earthquake?
Well, I think I have earthquakes once an hour here in this apartment, actually. Like,
Really? Yeah.
maybe it's a
Is
tram
it
passing
land?
by. No, but I feel it. But I don't know if I had really in earthquake.
Have you ever been dumped in a public place? Like, has someone ever broken up with you in a public place? Like, your boyfriend, you're in a public
Uh-uh.
place, boom. Oh,
No.
okay.
Uh-uh.
Good for you. All right.
But like
All
through
right.
SMS, yes.
Oh, that's maybe worse. I don't
The last one, oh my god. Immature.
Yeah.
Fine.
know. So,
Not coming
oh,
back.
do you have a question for me?
I do. I hope I put it in the right way. So, girl, I wanted to ask you because what you do is amazing. That you do interviews with people, with interesting people, and I kind of can imagine why you do it. For the reason of like, you know, you can tell why you do it, right? Many of reasons. But what I want to know is what what thought or sentence stick in your mind or change your point of view? What sentence from some of your guests said something that really was interesting? It could be like 2-3 sentences or thoughts. Something
That's a good question. Let me think about it for a minute. Had a lot of guests on.
That's why I'm asking, because you had a lot of interesting guests too.
Well, this is one of those questions that I feel like I should prepare for.
Mm.
Because, like, to remember all the things that we've talked about, there's hours and hours of conversation.
True.
Probably, I remember several conversations that felt really profound to me. Like, they felt like, wow, we just got really deep in this conversation. And at least one of them, right after we talked and I tried to post the episode on Instagram crashed on me and I lost the episode.
Oh.
So it's happened a couple of times. But so one episode, there was an episode with Lonnie Trevino, and he asked me a couple questions, and we got really deep at the end of this episode. He asked me, how do you define friendship, and can people change? And so the two of us talked about these two topics, and it just felt like we went really deep. And suddenly I'm talking about friendship and how I define friendship, and it was really interesting. It was probably one of the longest conversations that I had up until then. And then there was another conversation with Dave Madden. This episode is actually lost. We completely lost the conversation, but it just was a really cool conversation because I felt like we tapped into a conversation where my questions, I have written questions, but the ones that we got to were off the cuff. Like, I didn't write them in advance, but we were talking about something and the questions came naturally, and they like hit him in a way he was like, oh, I don't know. And we talked about it, and it was so like it's been really interesting I think I'm a person that likes the deep things, and I do try and get to the deep things.
Amazing. You're
like
my
what
person.
makes us like what brings us joy as creatives, and like trying to peel back some of the layers, because this past year has been so devastating and traumatic, I guess are okay words to use. They're intense words, but not just musicians, like everybody's way of life pretty much has changed, but musicians feel it. Musicians and service industry, a lot, like lots of people have felt it, but I know it from a musician's perspective. And so it's been interesting to like focus the show on like, all right, let's remember why we're doing this. Like, let's remember what about this process brings us joy. Why is this worth doing? Why are we going to keep moving forward? What about what we do has meaning? And I think that's been really interesting to hear and be reminded of why I do this too. Why I make music, why I sing, why I bother connecting with people online. Why do I put words to music? Why bother? It's at worst a very expensive hobby. And at best, if you're successful at it, like there's all kinds of highs. The highs are high and the lows are super low, and like it's a roller coaster if you do it right. And so it's been really interesting to like experience that. I don't think I answered your question. I don't have a specific phrase. I'd have to go back and like listen to some conversations. Sure. But I've really enjoyed some profound, there have been some profound conversations. And I think there was it was a few weeks ago, it was the same week, I think I had Gina Chavez and Tara Lightfoot on shows that week. I think it was the week of Thanksgiving or the week before Thanksgiving in November. And both very strong women and making really great strides forward. Gina was nominated for a Latin Grammy, and Tara just put out this album, and she's an incredible guitarist and incredible vocalist, and just, I don't know, they had a lot of like great things to say about women and like being strong and courageous and doing the thing, like do it. And so those conversations were really great to have with them too. But I don't remember specific phrases, but I remember the conversations were really great. So
at least the feeling, the energy you got from those people.
And I've had 173, near 174, I think, guests.
Which number is this one?
This episode is 171.
171. Wow.
I had a couple of half episodes.
So cool.
Back in the day.
I'm really happy that you did.
And I've had, those aren't the only great, episodes or conversations, but like as we're saying this, like those are a few that are standing out in my memory. So there are a lot of really great conversations I've had. I feel very privileged.
Hey, and I totally have to, and I totally need to underline that you are the person who goes deep. And like I can confirm or like
as my former roommate,
right, because we dig into really cool conversations, like hours and hours talking about life and about what's going on here, and like our own calling and path, and the fact that you are a musician too. I didn't know that you're a musician. That it turns out when I met you, it's really cool that we kind of like magnetized together, and look at us now.
And looking back, like I know that God placed you in my life at that time because of you and your personality, and showing me what someone as a professional musician, like how they are taking brave steps in their life.
Brave steps.
And
cool.
that was cool to watch. It was terrifying to me, but also
To
inspiring.
me too.
And I felt like motivating. Like I'm watching you. You're like, well, I'm just going to go play on the street, or I'm going to go crash a jam session at Elephant Room. And I'm just going to go there for the open mic. And I was just like still scared at that time.
I was scared too. What do you think?
Well,
I was scared every time.
Anyways. But being brave is like doing it anyways. Being brave is true. Like there's a scary thing that's ahead of you, and being brave is actually doing it anyways.
Oh my gosh, how many times I got lost in forms when I was skating through A, and I was like at A part and they were at B part, and I was like super. That was embarrassing. Okay, when I was skating through different form, and I was hearing different chord structure in my mind then it was actually playing. Oh my god!
And you
And I
recovered
went like,
well. Like, you're
I
good at
wanted to
recovering.
network. It was crazy. I wanted to network, but then who would like to perform with me if I got lost, right? Like,
But
oh my
like
god, I
you
had to.
learned and you got better, and that's the whole point. Is nobody's perfect. Nobody has it all
Nobody's
together.
perfect.
Nobody
True.
knows all the answers. We're figuring it out as
True.
we go,
True.
and that's the
True.
whole
True.
point. And like
Hmm.
I live so much of my life, and still do sometimes, afraid of failure. And there's two sides of that coin: afraid of failure and afraid of success. Sometimes you can be
Yeah.
afraid of both.
True.
And
Right.
and if
Uh-huh.
you're always afraid of failure, you don't even try, meaning you don't even give yourself a chance to fail.
Hmm.
And so like you have to actually be
True.
willing to fail
Yeah.
to move forward.
Absolutely.
And that's been a thing that I have learned on this journey. So
And all life is improvisation. Look at us, the talking. You had something prepared, but it flows.
I know
how
we're
it-
talking about
how it
things I
went.
didn't think we'd talk about today.
Yeah,
But
right.
I like it.
So improvisation. That's why I love jazz. Because like,
That makes sense.
it has a structure, but it doesn't have it. You can
Yeah.
break it a little bit sometimes.
And it's also, jazz to me is also like, you have to be able to read people and read the room and read your musicians and feel it, like feel where it's going. Because like, sure, it can wind, but like there are only so many places it can go.
But also you can apply this to your music too, because if you will play in music who are open-minded, I don't think
Right.
it's only the jazz, like it's only, how to say, like the
Genre.
aspect of jazz.
Right.
That this is let's say, like a description of jazz. But of course jazz plays, hopefully, people who have been studying it for a long time and read different rhythms and different paths, so they have the colors and imagination, sound imagination. But if you would play your music with jazz person, they would not hopefully do it too crazy, snaky, but hopefully they will do it right, flying somewhere you're like,
Where
oh,
are
come
we?
on. Where are
Come
we?
back to me.
So hopefully they will show you some just maybe a little different path, just maybe one door next to yours, so like that you have different approach, and
Right.
at that time you know that, oh, this is interesting, and this is the thing that you need to adapt while you're performing, that you need to be in the music. It just forces you to be in the flow. It forces you to be in the flow. You cannot, because if you are not in the flow and you are like what you should play and what you should sing, and that there is a nice guy sitting in that chair, and if you get distracted by this, you are not in the flow. And jazz forces you to be in the flow. You just don't have to care about the other stuff. You just have to care about the flow. That's
Yeah.
cool. I love it.
Joseph,
It's a meditation. It's a meditation thing. Aha! Joseph, yes, we are all this beautiful. So, yes, true. Loving
Yeah.
this, me too.
All right, I'm gonna
Love
make
it.
myself answer some questions. You don't have to answer these.
Okay. I hope
Have
there's
I
gonna be
ever
something like I had.
been
Mhm.
attacked by a stranger?
Oh, wow.
Not physically,
Uh-huh.
but I think maybe like verbally, like ah.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and like if it's usually you can look at a person and tell, all right, you're on something, I'm out of here. Or like, I've encountered people that are just like on they're high, or they're on something, and you're just like, all right, I need to get out of here. But not physically attacked, thankfully.
Yeah. Maybe in this
But I-
like red. What was the place we were performing together?
Red Eye Fly.
Red Eye Fly. We were attacked a couple of times. No.
Were we? No, I don't think. Well, were we? I don't remember. I blocked it out if we were.
Maybe not we, but somebody else.
Maybe.
different people.
Oh, well, I mean,
I
that
saw something.
that little part of town, there's like an alley right behind there, and apparently there's been a lot of like actual attacks like behind that alley. So I'm glad it didn't.
Don't
happen
go
to
there
us.
anymore.
Have I ever been oblivious that I was on a date? Probably.
Oblivious is that.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I had no idea it was a date. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's why it helps to talk about stuff.
How many times?
Multiple.
I think so.
With multiple people.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, so in my mind, it was not a date, because in my mind, a date is when both parties know it's a date. That's a date. And if only
Sure.
one party knows it's a date, that is not a date. That's like being sneaky. Don't be sneaky. It's not as enjoyable when you're sneaky about it.
Funny.
Wouldn't it be so much better if you asked her and she said, "Yeah, actually, I'd love to go on a date with you." Wouldn't that be so much better than
Yeah,
enjoy the
true,
date together?
true,
Yeah.
true,
All right.
true.
All right.
Painting
Have
a
I
fairy tale.
have I ever gotten 0 questions right on a test? Possibly.
At the school, you think?
Yeah. Well, on any test, maybe. I don't know. I've gotten pretty close. But I don't know that it was in school. I do remember this. I'll just tell this instead. I took a quiz or a test, and I definitely did not study for it. And I was probably in like 4th grade, 5th grade. And I was in this once a week program. I was homeschooled, but like once a week we had extra classes at this church, this program. And I'm pretty sure it was, I don't know what subject it would be, but the quiz was about the weather. And I did not even study for it because I did not even remember we had a quiz. And I remember I just don't test well, and I kind of freak out when I'm sitting there and I have the paper in front of me and I'm just like freeze.
Right.
And I remember there was a question. So this is a weather test. And we were talking, the question was multiple choice. And it was asking about like weather systems moving in and like certain changes in the atmosphere. And the questions were like, is this high pressure? Is it low pressure? Is it blood pressure? Is it something else pressure? Guess what my answer was? Blood pressure. I don't know why.
Because that was the only thing you knew.
No, but I didn't even register. Like, I knew what taking blood pressure was. Yeah, I was in 4th grade, but like, had I even thought about it, like taken a step back, like,
that's cute.
Blood pressure is not weather, Nat. And I could have crossed that one out. At least process of elimination gotten closer, but I chose that answer.
Yeah.
I think maybe D was like A and B, and I was like, I don't know. Blood pressure.
That was so much pressure that you had to
and to make it worse, pressure. I think
you had the blood pressure.
I think to make it, yeah, I did.
Oh my God.
To make it worse, like the next week, our teacher gave our tests back or something. We went over the test together, and our teacher marked which answer was which. And this one guy in my class, when we got to that question, he was like, "Did anybody actually say that?" And I was like, it was like the most obvious answer. Anyways.
It's like, okay, I go.
All right.
It's like the red thing. Oh.
Yeah, it's like that was my embarrassing moment in 4th grade. Well, it's time for the music of the show.
Yes. Okay.
We have talked for an hour.
Oh, time flies fast.
So we got to wrap up. So you're gonna play a song
we had a
with
lot
your
of great
looper.
Stories.
I know, it's been great.
Like, and we could go forever.
I know we could. It'd be so great. So, what is the title of your song?
Oh, wow. I don't know.
Okay. Does it not have a title, or it doesn't have a title in English?
Well, it doesn't have a words. So, and I actually already recorded on my Melbourne. And my friend... she sings a solo over it because she was my inspiration to write in writing this song. So I asked her if she can, do a solo, and she agreed. So I'm happy. She showed me actually first time when I saw this thing was her, Gina, and I saw her and I was like, oh my God, she is the angel in human flesh.
Wow.
Let me touch her, because she was creating so beautiful melodies and harmonies, and I loved it. And she just had the simple one, like it was like 10 years ago or maybe even more, and she had just one track, so like one recording and one stop. It was, and I have 5, This one has 5 tracks.
Amazing.
So, and she did amazing job, and sometimes I'm like, oh, she just did way better job than I do now. But well, you know, that's like
practice.
the mind back time, back
and,
then,
and like
totally,
comparing, not
yeah.
healthy.
I never heard it I never heard it. I never heard the machine back then, so it was my first experience. So that's why, of course, I was blown away.
Right.
Yeah. So let's do it. So I put this away.
Okay.
Maybe
I'll
will
take
set it up
myself off the screen,
Okay.
and I will mute myself.
Oh, sweet. I don't know who is watching. How many people are watching?
We have 11 people tuning in right at this moment.
Sweet. Hello. Hey. Okay, good. Ciao. So you see my flowers now behind me. I wasn't setting the view. It's just here. So I have a lot of plants, my babies. So I need to also check the note. So let me check S. Okay, so I put this away. Is the sound good? Hopefully. Okay.
Hey! Can you hear me?
I'll just
Oh, shouldn't have her headphones in.
wait it.
Hi, Fuel 198. You issued a challenge to wear someone's reading glasses, so I put some on.
What?
Also, great job. Amazing.
Oh, I didn't hear. What? Yes. Thank you. I'm excited to hear you.
Joseph
It was
said,
healing.
Mirka, let's be friends. He wants to come to Czech Republic.
Ah, wonderful. Yes. Let's be friends. Come to Czech. Well, when it works, when it's possible.
Yeah, when it's safe to do so. Yeah, let's
I need to go to US to see you guys. Please, yes, that. The travel, the travel bus, the travel plane to Mirka. Yes.
Hey, Michelle is here. Do you remember Michelle?
Yes, I do remember. We did the thing, the clips with Michelle.
Yeah, she said you made us the soundtrack to her weekend.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Aww,
hope it heals you a little bit.
She wishes we were back at Elephant Room and Firehouse. Oh my
That's
gosh,
amazing.
good times.
I remember. Oh my god, 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Oh my gosh, 2014 and 15, both.
14, 15.
5 and 6 years ago. Fuel 198. I'm wearing glasses just for you, by the way. Okay. Let's see. I'll take you out of the stream, Mirka.
Yes.
For the moment. I'll bring you back in. Okay. This song is... Mirka requested a song that I wrote while we were living together. And this is the only one of those songs that made it on the album, my first album that I put out. Gosh. Not last year anymore, in 2019. It's called The Fog. And it's been very appropriate during the pandemic. Because I think, I don't know about you, but I went kind of back to that place, The Fog. Well, all my life I've waited, whispered prayers above. I've traveled through the fog so long, I finally had enough. Autumn has come, my love. I feel so alone with you. don't know what happened. My mic got muted. I do know what happened. My sister called me in the middle of this, and I lost my sound. I'll pick up after the first chorus. Finally had enough. Am I allowed to die? I choose eternal night over sorrow. What other choice have I? The thing about the fog is it feels like I'm still lost. If I could find a way, then I would fight. Oh, but every time I breathe, every time I blink, daylight seems to fade into the night. And then the wind begins to change. I can see and taste and feel again. Like a child racing through the trees, like a kite flying high in the breeze. The hope of love is mounting in my chest. It's you, your word, your caress. The thing about the fog is you don't know when you've got it. It takes a little time to see the light. Oh, but when you catch a glimpse, it starts to make some sense. The sweetest rose is found deep in the night. Deep in the night. Deep in the night. Deep in the night. It's worth the fight. It's worth the fight.
It was beautiful.
Oh, where are you? There you are. Wait, why can I not hear you? Hold on.
Cannot hear me. Ah,
Why? Oh, you know what? When my sister called, so like I can't why can't I hear you? I'm hearing you from my
you can hear me
laptop.
now.
That's so
Yeah?
weird.
Huh?
I can't hear you in my
Uh-huh.
headphones. Well, so
Well, but
something happened
you.
when my sister called me because it comes in through my computer too. I cannot. I don't know how to turn that
Unfortunately,
off, but
I was afraid because I thought that you will not notice it and that you will finish the song and we didn't hear anything.
I know.
I was like,
Well,
come on, that's
she was
us.
calling on my phone, and I was like, stop. She called like 3
Uh-huh.
times, and I'm like, stop.
Uh-huh.
And then,
Oh,
anyways,
no.
thank you
But
all
you
for
sing
joining us.
great and playing great. It's way
I know
more
I can't hear you
bolder.
anymore in my
You cannot hear me?
headphones. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm taking these off now for the last 2 minutes. Mirka, did you send me any other links that I need to share with people?
Oh,
I
actually
posted
didn't.
Mirka's website. I will post it again in the
guys.
comments right now.
Let's connect. That would be great if we could, everything. I
Awesome.
will release the song, The Best Friend.
Yes.
We were talking, we were writing together. So I will release it because it took me forever. Well, it's like the whole thing. It's just life, just life. Just say it simply, life. And my Facebook page is Mirka Novak Music, and my vocal coach is Mirka Novak Vocal Coach, and www.mirkanovakmusic.com is the website, but nothing is going on because the restrictions.
Yeah.
So hopefully soon will be just the world back. Hopefully.
Well, I'm so glad that you were able to do this morning, and thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Mirka, I can't wait to see you in person someday soon.
Yes,
me too. And I'm wishing you all the best in this new year. And let's stay in touch.
Stay in touch, yes, absolutely, friend. That's
yeah.
You'll be my friend forever.
Forever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks everyone
Ciao,
for joining.
Everybody. Thanks
Have
for
a good
joining.
one.
Yeah. Hopefully it was nice.
Bye.
Bye bye.